કરીને જોઈ લઉં છું. ખાલી અહીંથી શેર સ્ક્રીન કરવાનું અને શેર સ્ક્રીન પહેલા સ્લાઇડ
No, just 1 minute. I am sharing my screen. I'll just show sir how it looks, how the entire thing looks.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So, sir, I'll send you a link.
So where do I see that?
1 minute. I'll show you that. Yes, sir. On Zoom itself, in chat, I have sent you one link. Are you getting one message below? Orange colored icon.
Should I see in my mobile? You want to see me?
No. On Zoom, in front of you, where you have the menu of Zoom, no, where you have participants, Q&A. There you will get now an option of chat also.
Yeah. Should I see in my mobile? You want to see me?
No. On Zoom, in front of you, where you have. Your voice is not clear. Hello. Menu of Zoom, no, where you have.
Hello. Now.
So your voice is clear. Dr. Haley's is not clear. I think she's a bit away from the machine.
Yeah, she is away from me.
Yes, you were saying something, Dr. Haley?
No, I'm not saying anything. I think the brightness is okay.
Yeah. So did you get the YouTube link?
Yeah, we already saw that.
You saw that, right? Yeah, so I think it is fine, no?
I mean, it's not as good, but that's fine. We don't have much time to make correction. But as long as you are satisfied, because you are seeing from the other side, so it will be fine. If you are okay, that's fine.
It seems fine, sir.
Yeah, the facial clarity is good, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
You
Now,
want to see
should I
share screen?
start sharing the screen? Share the screen.
So just 1 minute. We have Dr. Kanjalkar also in.
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Makran. Good morning.
શેર સ્ક્રીન કરી અને સીધું અહીંથી ચાલુ છે. પેલા મેં તમે નહોતું કર્યું?
Hello, good morning, sir. How are you, Mansi?
Good morning, Makran.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Yeah. So, all set?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's a vast ocean and relaxing. Yeah.
So you can start sharing yours then.
काय करतो आहे ना माझा व्हिडिओवर कोणता चेक करताय
आहे सुरू आहे सर व्यवस्थित आहे
Is that okay?
No, I was talking to Dr. Kanjalkar.
Yeah.
व्यवस्थित आहे व्हिडिओ.
Okay.
One.
Okay, fine. Actually, there is no electricity here, so I'm using my mobile to connect. So that's why I verify.
Okay, okay, okay.
All right. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yes,
Fine.
sir.
The presentation?
Meditation, its techniques and its science.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It is showing not presentation, but showing the
Folder.
various folders.
Okay.
No, Dr. Haley, what you like yesterday, this is the same problem. So you are sharing the folder. That is why we are not able to see the screen. You can share the entire screen, then we'll be able to see whatever you're opening.
Yeah. Now we
Yes.
can see.
See, now you're sharing the presentation. When you want to play the video, again, we will have to stop share and restart a share.
Okay.
See if you want to do that or you want to share your entire screen.
First full screen come. Yeah. Has the full screen come properly?
Yes,
Yes,
it
sir.
has come.
And may I run few slides and just check?
Yes.
Is it all smooth?
Yes, this is great. So this is even better than yesterday.
All right, fine. So all set from my side. Now, as you said, we'll try the video. So after ending the show, right, we have to go to the video
So
folder.
you will have to stop sharing now. You will have to stop sharing.
Yeah.
Hi, morning. हो गया क्या? All ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I think you open up now. It's 5 minutes.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
You are ready, Sudhir?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
So we'll do video later on. Yeah, let's share the full screen. What is the name? Mansi,
Yes, sir.
just recheck whether the full screen is okay or are there any some issues in presentation.
Full screen में video है क्या?
No, sir. He is gonna play the video later. We were facing some problems with the video, so he's
Okay.
gonna play the video in the end.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay.
अभी slideshow. Correct. Yeah.
Is it okay? Slideshow is all right. Okay.
Yes.
Coming okay, ne? Good. Fair enough.
Makarand, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Are there three of us or there are some more people?
No, अभी 30 हो गया है. होएगा. 100-200 हो जाएगा.
Okay. ठीक है.
Let's see. We'll wait 5 minutes and then start.
As you say.
Are you going to take a meditation, sir?
No, it depends on how much time we have. I want to finish in exact 1 hour, and if then time permits, we can take either questions, or if somebody wants 5 minutes session, we can do that. So it depends.
फिर तू एक काम करना, make your talk 50 minutes and 10 minutes, make a brief session in the end, 5 minutes or 10.
I tried that, but I think let's see how things go.
Because after 1 hour, people may not stay for meditation, but total 1 hour people will stay, is my feeling. So then you can use that last 10 minutes for meditation, 10 minutes for question answer. So ideally, most speakers, we have asked them to keep the talks, duration about 30 to 40 minutes and have more for question answer and for some.
I know, but the idea of giving techniques, it takes a lot of time. So you're right, that was another way. But I chose this path that at least people get exposed to a lot of things rather than, they may have some questions, but instead of that, I will expose them to various techniques. This is how the esoteric people do. And then if there are some questions, we'll take. So let's see how things go. I'll try to make it very interesting. Don't
Actually,
worry about
actually,
everything.
Datta Nadgir has commented
Well,
that during
somebody is
this,
saying doing a session
hmm,
for 5 to 10 minutes is worth it, so people will be able to ask questions about the experience.
Datta Nadgir is saying that.
What?
He's saying that it is worth having a 5 to 10 minutes session of actually meditation. So then after that, people will ask questions about how they felt, what they felt, what problem they had, whether they could do it or not. तो मेरे को लगता है कि technique you keep if once you get people little hooked into this, then they will ask for one more session. Then you give the different methods of different other methods. But what one method you think people might understand, if you do that now, and then those who get interested, you tell them, okay, next time I will show all the other methods. So that might work.
One sec, I'll just see whether
You can stop sharing your screen, and if you want, remove some of the slides, and then take on. Best way will be tell briefly about what it is, what's the use and things. Actually, make them do it, and then let people ask you questions. And then those who get interested now, you tell them, okay, there are many methods, and you tell them what methods there are. And if people are willing to wait, then you can do now only, or you can do another talk.
let me see how, because at the last moment it will be very difficult for me to, but I'll try and see what we can do. Stop. I'm just stopping the screen share and I'm trying to find out the the
Okay.
stop share and then
Yeah, 60 people will start in
hmm.
about 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Yeah. Are you
તમારું
going? છેલ્લે પેલું તારામાં જો ને છેલ્લે તારામાં દેશ એ નહીં આવ્યું ને.
Dr. Haley, let me know when you are ready. So then I'll stop sharing my screen. Then
No,
start.
one sec. I'll just let you know within a minute.
Yes.
I will this one. આનો શેર નહીં આ બધા છે.
मेरे को अभी पहला ही क्वेश्चन है व्हाट इज दिस अब्रॉड in US and all over they have this mindfulness big huge क्या बोलते हैं उसको एक
हवा है.
हाँ बहुत चल रहा है तो ये माइंडफुलनेस इट्स सपोज टू बी द इजीएस्ट वे ऑफ मेडिटेशन तो क्या है हो सकता है क्या
वो भी है बहुत सी है उससे भी ज्यादा बहुत है. Mindfulness is one of the commonest application for the indoor patients these days. So and it is a kind of easy Zen technique. So we have to be aware of everything around you. And there are two ways. One is a contemplation method and concentration aspect. So both way you can achieve mindfulness, and this is one of the simplest and easiest way. However, the gains are not as great as the other methods.
Okay.
So for simple people, simple things, something like that.
Actually, why one gets headache after meditation?
Yes, if you get headache, it's probably not
Many people get.
because they are making efforts to meditate, I suppose.
No, after that.
We can start, huh? Here, I'm
Yeah.
fine.
Sir, I would suggest that you talk a little louder, Dr. Shah.
Oh, that's so.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Makarand, go ahead.
Yeah. Good morning. I welcome you all for this some different session on Sunday morning, and we have a senior neurologist speaking us on meditation, art, and science. Rather, meditation, its techniques and its science. All of us know Dr. Sudhir Shah. He's a senior neurologist. He's a professor and HOD in a municipal hospital in Ahmedabad. Also, he's director of neurosciences in Sterling Group of Hospitals. He's senior neurologist and, of course, consultant to the governor of Gujarat. He's also executive member of Indian Academy of Neurology, advisor on World Yoga Federation. He has conferred most prestigious Padma Shri Award in 2016. He's also innovator of Contemplative Neurology subgroup of Indian Academy of Neurology. So let us start something different. Over to you, Dr. Sudhir Shah, sir, please.
Hello. Good morning to all of you, and I must thank Dr. Kothari, Dr. Devashish, amongst others, and Professor Makran for chairing this session. And also thankful to all of you that you are all here in the early morning of the Sunday. And have a wonderful Akshay Tritiya. This is a very auspicious day today. The topic today is meditation, its techniques and its science. Now, this is a very vast and deep subject like an ocean, and it cannot be finished in 1 hour. What I can do is I can give an overview of this subject. First part, I will talk of the ancient wisdom, which are the techniques of meditation, which is not usually found in our routine books. It takes, it took almost 15 to 20 years for me to collect all this wisdom. While the second part, the modern science, I will speak few lines on that, but you could find in the net and PubMed, etc., also. Well, over the 15 years, whatever I gathered, I want to give this my best gift to all of you, and I wish that you use this in introspection. And if some of you are inspired with this, I'll be more than happy. The first question that comes is why meditation? Many people ask me why we should do meditation. Some say I don't enjoy meditation. Some people say it's very difficult. We'll try to answer those questions first. I'll start with a quote of Rumi. He said, "Please do me a little favor. Search your own self within yourself." While referring to the utility of meditation, he said this profound statement, "Please do me a little favor." अपने आप के अंदर अपनी आप की जांच करो, and that is meditation. Lord Buddha said, he was a very basic person. He used to avoid all esoteric questions about soul and rebirth and etc. He said, what is most pertinent to all of us? Look, we all are suffering. That there is a problem. There is a pain. Everybody who is on the earth is suffering. So that there is a problem. And then he said that if there is a problem, there has to be a cause. And then if there is a cause, there has to be a way. And then the fourth important statement he gave, these are all called four noble truths of Buddha. If you follow that path, you will get the solution. And based on that, he gave the Ashtang Samyak Marg and their Shil Samadhi Pragya, where meditation was one of the most important things. Same way, Lord Mahavir, also in Upanishad and Vedanta, everywhere the importance of meditation has been given. So friends, pain is inevitable, but the suffering is optional. And that, if you want to get rid of suffering, we have to learn introspection and meditation. We exist in three forms: body, mind, and for those of us who believe in the soul, or at least consciousness, now the science also accepts consciousness. Our all activities of the day, right from morning to night, right from earning fame to money, and everything is body-centric. But we absolutely ignore the faculty of our mind, and that is what creates the problems. Secondly, all of us are in the quest of peace and happiness. Everybody wants peace and happiness, and we all move out and look for happiness and peace in worldly objects and gatherings and positions and fame and money and all that. At some stage, we realize that no, peace and happiness are not outside. And those lucky of us try to do introspection, and that introspection is meditation. You know what? Our inner core is full of happiness and peace, but we search happiness and peace outside. But the inner core is totally obscured with the activities of mind. And which are those? Our aspirations, our thoughts, our emotions, our perversions, our ego, our attitude, our attachment, the fact that the mind wanders between past and future, all these ignorance, these are the root cause of unhappiness. If we work on these and remove these problems, then the whole inner core, inner consciousness is full of happiness. So while we introspect and remove all these fallacies and miseries, that process is called meditation. Those of us who are in the quest of God or self-realization, these all great people have done meditation, so we have to do meditation. May it be Lord Mahavir, Lord Buddha, Lord Shiva, Lord Jesus, Muhammad, Prophet, and in the recent years, Krishnamurti ji, Vivekananda ji, Raman Maharshi, and so many Western saints, they're all doing meditation. So meditation is a must for those who want to achieve peace and happiness by having understood that happiness and peace is not outside, and the root cause of our miseries are our own thoughts, perceptions, ego, attitude, etc. So what is meditation? Meditation is an exercise of mind to keep it healthy and clean. It is grooming of the body, it, as we do for our body. It is grooming of our mind as we do for our body. Neurology is a state of altered consciousness. Some say it is fourth state of consciousness. It's a spiritual ecstasy with neurological manifestation. They are not really hallucination. Before 1995, all of the neuropsychiatrists, they felt that hallucination and yogic activities are all hallucination. There is no actual biological representation in the brain. But after the seminal experiments, particularly of Professor Andrew Newberg, amongst others, we understood that meditation is a neurobiological process with a specific set of neurophysiological, neuroelectrical, neurochemical sequences, and these all events can be really captured into fMRI, SPECT, and other equipment. But the question is that these are all subjective experiences, and can we really capture everything that you feel on the biological machines? No, there are limitations. So all these meditative and other experiences can to some extent be taken up on the machines, but everything cannot be. So there is a limitation of science. So there are certain definitions which are available. Some say it is stability of mind. Meditation, according to others, is concentration on one object. According to some, it is nothing but unified thought process intensely. Some say no, it is thoughtlessness. Some say it is introspection. Some say it is intentional self-regulation and whatnot. Well, all these things are correct. They are complementing each other, and as we go through presentation, we will realize that these are all truth. I need your full attention because this is a very, very deep and vast subject and requires full concentration. A dictionary definition of meditation is thinking deeply or spiritually about a subject. It's a very complex cognitive task. It is more than relaxation, concentration, contemplation, or posturing, or so to say, it is a combination of all this. That's why all these definitions we saw earlier are correct. The ultimate goal of meditation is enlightenment or illumination. We'll see that in the scientific experiment. Somebody may ask, wow, if I do meditation, what will I gain? What will be the advantage? At the primary superficial level, yes, there are a lot of advantages like physical, mental, and emotional health. It also helps in partial control or cure of some of the psychosomatic disorders, including high blood pressure, coronary disease, diabetes, asthma, rheumatism, etc. We'll see that later also. It relieves the stress. It helps in better concentration, sharpness. All of us who are doing meditation, they have felt that it's really very easy to get concentration, sharpness, stress relief, etc. It improves job performance. It improves interpersonal relationships, attitude, It brings inner peace, patience, happiness. It cultivates all positive emotions, improves quality of life, improves control of anger and fear, and there are intuitive knowledge and healing power also. So, what is the neurochemistry of stress and neurochemistry of meditation? They are diagonally opposite. Stress is overactivity of sympathetic system. You know that the pulse is raised, BP is raised, the respiration goes fast. While meditation is a yogic mode where pulse is slow, respiration is slow, blood pressure falls, the person is calm, serene, etc. So that way, meditation is an antidote to stress. Those of us who are in stressful situations, we should do meditation daily. However, there are certain cautions. It is not a push button system. You need patience. There is a very high dropout rate I've seen. You need to have right guide, right method, correct understanding, appropriate place, constant practice, extreme faith, and full conviction. Like even if right now, if I start giving you technique of meditation and try ask you to do meditation, you won't be able to do it because you require perfect understanding, correct methodology, and constant practice. In meditation, we don't have to sleep. It's the awareness process. The meditation industry is at a height. It's booming. There's a lot of commercialization. There are people who sell meditation for certain dollars. No, that is not the way. This is a sacred science, and everybody must learn. It's kind of a priceless thing, and you cannot learn with commercial way. Another thing that one should not make comparison with different systems. Some say that my system is great, the other systems are not good. No. The moment the ego and comparison comes, that means you have not learned the basics of meditation. You have to respect all the systems, and that is how a meditator is taught from the beginning. Krishnamurti used to say meditation is hard work. It demands the highest form of discipline which comes through constant awareness, not only of the things about you outwardly, but also inwardly. According to him, meditation is effortless, choiceless awareness. Remember these words. Effortless, choiceless awareness is meditation. We have seen the advantages at the physical, mental, emotional, and job, etc. level. But the real purpose, according to the spiritual text, meditation is to teach us to remain in the present moment. Most of our miseries are because our mind is literally fluctuating between past and future. The past grudges and all those wrong things that happened to you, kind of depression. Well, future is anxiety. What will happen tomorrow? This situation, disease everywhere, etc. What will happen to me? While this present moment is full of peace and happiness. So meditation primarily teaches us to remain in the present moment. Meditation is meant to make us learn how to eliminate our ego and how to eliminate the activities of mind. You remember those activities of mind we discussed, the aspiration, the perceptions, the perversions, the attachment, ego, attitude, all these things are the activities of mind. Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. And these are the root cause of our miseries. We discussed that. And meditation teaches us to get rid of all these activities, thoughts, desires, etc. And that's how one can be peaceful and happy. And that we will see in the derivation of scientific experiments also. So meditation is basically ultimately meant for self-realization, for those who believe in God realization, for total bliss, total relief of pain, as Buddha used to tell, and that way total liberation. So next question is, how do we do meditation? These all have been compiled from different agams, Tripitaka, Vedanta, and different books of meditation from Bhairav and this and that. We'll give the reference at the end if you wish. So these meditation techniques are basically divided into different 8 parts. One is either you do focus on breathing, or you do focus on an object, or focus on a sound, focus on a thought, focus on a sensual object, focus on sensory perception, or imagery, or soundification. Now, this such a deep science, like on focus on breathing, there could be contemplation or concentration. Either you concentrate on breathing or contemplate. We'll see that. Like focus on a sound. You create a sound, you chant a sound, say Om, Om Rim, Namo Narayana, etc. sound, or you listen to a sound, or sit in a quiet place where all sounds are less and less, and then you try to focus on the most distant sound coming from a different part, and then you focus on that. So either you create or you listen to sound. So there are different ways. And like on a thought, whether you concentrate on a thought, let the whole universe heal in the current situation. That is a thought. You focus on that thought and continuously, deliberately think on that thought without giving any attention to any other thought. Focus on a single thought. Or you can do contemplation. Let all thoughts pass through your screen of mind one by one as it is without criticizing them, just bare neutral awareness, and that is called focus on a thought. So these are different techniques, and we don't have that much time, but we'll try to see some of them. Meditation includes a complex group of techniques belonging to different cultural traditions. It's not true to say that meditation was only available in Indian context or Oriental science. Of course, in India, Buddhism, Jainism, and yogic systems, particularly Vedanta, etc., they had developed a very high level of meditative techniques, particularly Patanjali yoga system, etc. But the Chinese system also, Taoism and Jain Buddhism has also evolved their own techniques. In Western tradition, Christian, Hebrew, and Islamic mystic currents are also very well developed. When you want to do meditation, first you have to choose a constant place and select the atmosphere. For initial few months, do at the same place, in the same atmosphere, the same time of the day, in a sitting posture. You don't have to lie down. The time of meditation should be fixed, either early morning or late at night. Do consistent practice daily, and you have to observe four purities. Your mouth should be clean, your body should be clean, the place should be clean, and your clothes should be clean. The attitude that we have to develop or apply during meditation is bare attention or neutral witness, nothing else. Just be aware, effortless, choiceless awareness. Pure moment-to-moment awareness or mindfulness, non-judgmental inner listening and equanimity. For the beginners, they can start with prayer or do some little pranayam so that the activities of mind, the fluctuation of mind becomes lesser and lesser, and you can concentrate a little easy. But it's not necessary always to do all this before meditation. Now, coming back to those techniques, the focus on breathing, focus on objects. Now, science is divided into three broad categories. One is called focus attention, the other is called open monitoring system, and third is called transcendental meditation. The Patanjali yoga system, these are the different methods out of those 8 techniques. There are 120 methods, and then there are thousands of different modifications. You can make your own modification. Patanjal, Anapan, Sati, Smriti, Vipassana, Preksha, these are supposed to be the oldest in Indian system. As I mentioned, all methods are great. So don't try to compare them. Whatever suits you, you should do. Yog Nidra, Kriya Yoga, Mrityu Dhyan, Transcendental Meditation of Mahesh Yogi, Kundalini, Jain, Mindfulness Meditation, etc. These are all very standard and easily taught techniques, and you can learn online also. I will try and talk about 3 systems in brief, and then we move on to the scientific part also. So Patanjal Rishi was the great sage who wrote Patanjal Yoga Sutra, as Makarand used to mention last Sunday's talk. This is one of the profound books, and he said that the ultimate goal of human existence is samadhi, where there is non-dual experience of the existence. You are part of the universal existence, universal consciousness. And that is the total stage of bliss. There is no ego, there are no activities of mind like thoughts, desires, perceptions, perversions, ego, attitude, etc. No attachment also. But to attain that state, dhyan, the seventh step, is the most important step. But he said that every Tom, Dick, and Harry cannot log into meditation and then samadhi. One has to go through certain purification processes. First is yama, then niyama, then asana, pranayam, pratyahar, then dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. So one has to observe certain self-constraint and self-restraint, like non-violence, truth, non-stealing, celibacy, satya, ahimsa, aparigraha, brahmacharya, etc., etc. These are the five major vows of Indian spiritual context. You know that. Then there are five niyam. He said purity, austerity, some kind of penance, then santosh, self-satisfaction, spiritual learning, worship, dedication. These are all niyams that would make you qualify for the further steps. So yam and niyam. Then asan, what we call yoga. Yoga today is nothing but the third part of the eightfold path of Patanjal. Just asan is postures, so that you are taking charge of your body. Your body remains still in a particular posture for hours together when you do dhyan and samadhi. So you have to qualify your body. Then you take charge of your prana, that is called pranayam. Then pratyahar, withdraw senses from the different aspects. And then you do dharana and dhyan and samadhi. And this is a very advanced science, how actually meditation helps, eliminate the different thoughts and ego, etc. But we don't have much time, but this is a very logical system. Here we have to focus on an object or a place or a thought or a chakra or flame or photo with eyes open and then later close. And you develop such a kind of intense concentration that at one stage the activities of mind are gone and the observer becomes identified with the object, and there is no faculty of mind. So there is a non-dual experience later on because faculty of mind is removed, and we have to actually do it to feel it, because it is not something which we can explain in words. The another important method is anapanasati, and here it's very easy and simple thing, and if time permits, we will try and do this session for 5-10 minutes. Um, there, here you have to bring the attention to the breath, but you don't have to control the breathing. It is not pranayam. You have to see your natural breathing that comes in and goes out. Give full attention to the feeling of breath as it goes in and out. Dwell in the present, moment by moment, breath by breath. You have to observe your mind with moment to moment awareness, effortless, choiceless awareness. When you try to focus on your breath, like breath comes in, goes out, comes in, goes out, just focus your mind there on the process of breathing. And then the third or fourth breathing cycle, your mind will start wondering, you'll go to USA or go to Corona or this or that, or what I'm going to eat today. Don't worry. Note this and bring gently back to the awareness, back to the brain. This happens to all beginners and all of us. We have the same problems. But after months and years of experience, we are able to focus on the breath for minutes to hours even. So why breathing? So the logic is, why you want to focus on breathing? Because there are two truths we know. One is that we are born, and the other that we are going to die. In between, there is a third truth that we are living, and we are living because we are breathing, in a way. So breathing is a truth of our existence. So when we are focusing on breathing, we are focusing on truth. And that way, one day we will reach to the ultimate truth. Breathing is vital. Without breath, we will not be here. Therefore, we are focusing on vital, and therefore, vitality is most important, which will take you to the vital. It is secular. There is nothing like Hindu, Mohammedan, Jesus, etc. This is all secular. So anybody can do. Even atheists can do. Breathing is always with you. You don't have to carry a photo or it is murti, etc. So it is always all the 24 hours with you. So it's very easy. While breathing, you are learning to remain in the present tense. So it's a very good exercise. More importantly, breathing carries your emotions and thoughts. Try thinking, when you are angry, what happens? Your breath goes fast and it is sympathetic also. Your breathing also becomes faster. If you have compassion on somebody, your breathing becomes slow and quiet. If you have jealousy for something, your breathing becomes haywire. So all different emotions and thought and perversions travel on the vehicle of breath. When you are learning to focus on breath, it serves as a feedback mechanism. And therefore, if something goes wrong with your breathing, you always try to look back what is wrong with your emotions, etc. So this is a very wonderful technique, and you can try doing this. Just focus on breath once, it goes in and out, as if the mind is the sentry sitting at the tip of your nose and just focusing on the breath that comes in and goes out. Continue to watch the breath, accepting each moment to moment for few minutes to hours, not to lose a single breath. Lord Buddha said that if you can focus for continuous 48 minutes on breathing without losing a single breath, then you become enlightened. Similarly, you can do meditation on your thoughts, as I mentioned. Either you focus on a single thought and continuously concentrate on that positive thought, or just observe the volley of thoughts that crosses your mind. By observing your thoughts, you realize that all thoughts are empty, they are contradictory, they don't carry anything, they are just painful and creates a lot of nuisance to yourself. And once you continue seeing your thoughts, you try to become detached from the thought. And that is the idea of Smriti Upasthana. In Jain meditation also, we are taught to learn Kayotsat, Samayik, Pratikraman. The Jain religion is a Bhav Dharma, so meditation of utmost importance. And here we do qualitative meditation of thoughts also, and several types of Kriya, Granthi, Bhed, etc. Ultimately, Jainism, what is taught is you have to focus on your soul by your own soul. Consciousness, focusing on your own consciousness, and without remaining unaware for a single second. Be aware of your thoughts, guard your voice, words, and guard your action. That is the Jain meditation. Similarly, the sound meditation, do chanting on a mantra, its meaning and vibration, and how different sounds affect even the crystals of water. There are experiments by Emoto amongst others, and we can literally study that on net. So sound has a terrific effect on body systems, all living organisms. Vipassana is something exceptionally important amongst all others. It is also a very good technique. I don't want to say that this is the best, but this is a very structured system. I've undergone Vipassana also, and here we have to observe the breathing for first 3.5 days, followed by 6.5 days. We have to focus on the sensations that arise on different parts of our body. They may be calm, they may be hot, they may be pleasant, they may be unpleasant, they may be harsh, they may be very easy. Sometimes it's pins and needles. So different sensations arise in different part of the body in bunches, and we have to see them without getting caught into them with neutral awareness. That ultimately brings to the fact that these are all transient, shiny. So your attachment to your body and its processes are literally gone. Ultimately, you get detached from thoughts, you get detached from the emotions and perversions, and ultimately you have detachment from your body, and Vipassana is an operation of the mind by the mind. Here the surgeon is also mind, calm and quiet mind, awake and attentive mind, equanimous mind, etc., etc. Another technique is mindful technique, observing the body and mind intentionally, letting experiences unfold from moment to moment and accepting them as they are. You just to be bare neutral awareness, observing thoughts without getting caught in them, and no effort. You don't have to make any effort to control except the focus and direction of attention. It's not a passive process, but it does not involve getting, trying to get anywhere. In this, you reach to some stage where while you are eating, you are meditating. While you are sitting, you are meditating. While you are working, you are meditating. And meditating during each act is wonderful. So awareness of every second, moment to moment, of all your activities, your words and your thoughts, that is mindfulness. And that is now very much prevalent in foreign countries. They are doing for a lot of research studies also. Transcendental meditation was a technique propounded by Maharshi Yogi, and it is also very interesting. This is a photo of the cover magazine of Life magazine of cover photo, where an actress is levitating after transcendental meditation. I brought this to tell you that meditation is not for showing up. As I mentioned, meditation is internet connection is unstable. Your meditation is not for all these things. It is for elimination of ego or elimination of your mind and all those things. So be very careful. And okay. Uh, then I have brought Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji's Sudarshan Kriya. I think Karandikar had Kalzankar had mentioned this last time. Art of Living course, it has changed thousands of lives. Here there is Soham type of meditative system, and we can take up into question. Then Ramanji taught about the silence contemplation. Who am I? The question you have to ask in silence, and that in silence the heart, in the silence of the heart, God speaks. So he taught us to do small things with great love. Similarly, Mother Teresa taught us to do service and that way meditation. Then there are Dhyan Yoga, Sattata, dynamic meditation. And so there are lots of many systems. We can go on for hours and hours. And I've done some of them very meticulously. Some of them I've read, but I found that all techniques are, all methods are good and you can choose any for yourself. Swapna Dhyan, Nidra Dhyan, Yog Nidra, Nyas, Sufi system, Jain system, all these different. So this is the Sufi meditation. In Chinese system, there is Qigong or Tajikwen and some other meditation systems. And the aim is awareness and self-knowledge by wise use of imagination, sensory development, motor control, and bringing perfect balance of body system. So it's a development of internal energy. You know that Tai Chi and Qigong, these are the technical words, positive and negative according to them, and so develop internal energy to become a symbol of cosmos. And this is one of their techniques. Video may not be that good, but I just wanted to show how different people have learned and created different meditation systems. So meditation for the beginner, you have to remain in present tense and non-judgmental awareness. First, you practice silence of body, then be speechless, so silent by speech, then learn to get isolated. Then you can start either with sound meditation, chanting, or seeing an idol by object meditation, or inner flame meditation, or you do breathing technique, and then you can go into another deeper and deeper systems. So now next 10-15 minutes we'll spend on the scientific aspects. Having observed a lot of techniques, the common denominator of all these techniques is that oxygen consumption is reduced during meditation by 16%, even greater than the reduction of 20% in the sleep. So it is a winner situation. Neural structures that are intimately related to the control of autonomic nervous system are activated. Diurnal cyclic secretion of stress hormones, that is ACTH, cortisol, etc., is absent here. So there are lots of papers on net. You'll find there are thousands and thousands of papers how meditation may help heal or control partially or to 40 to 70%, reduction of arthritis, allergies, asthma, hypertension, coronary, irritable bowel syndrome, heartburn, constipation, tension, headache, migraine, menopause system problems, PMS, pain in the back, hip, knees, depression, anxiety, substance abuse, skin disorder, chronic fatigue, overweight, sleep problems. All these you will find, and you'll be surprised that the maximum work is done on depression, anxiety in Vipassana system, in mindful meditation, in transcendental meditation, and so on. So even if you want to get rid of your psychological problems also, to some extent it helps. And there are some of the papers which I don't have time, but in cancer, depression, anxiety, in the chronic pain of backache and others, anxiety, panic disorder, fibromyalgia, psoriasis, carotid artery wall thickness, coronary artery regression of the plaques, and hospital admission, and all heart disease, etc. Lot of papers, some of them are seminal peer-reviewed papers are published, and you can browse on the net and find out. But I want to tell you again, meditation is not advised for primarily for relief of disease cure. It's something very high thing. It helps you relieve of your all thoughts, emotions, perversions, ego, attitude. This is a very highly evolved system. As a byproduct, because these are psychosomatic disorders, they are relieved, that's okay. But that is not your primary goal. So who cannot do meditation? Those who have psychosis, severe depression, confusional states, excessive anxiety, dementia, they should not do meditation. Meditation produces a specific physiological response pattern that involves various biological systems. Mechanisms producing meditative effects include autonomic, metabolic, neurological, endocrine, and psychological systems. Primarily, these 5 systems are involved, and that's been studied extensively. Physiological responses to meditation occurs on a multi-dimensional interactive basis, and we'll see some of them as time permits. First of all, neuroelectrical effects. As we are neurologists, we are interested. So, as I mentioned earlier, the 3 major systems are focus attention, open monitoring, and transcendence. Depending on those systems, you have either increased alpha activity, increased theta production, increased high beta activity. Like if you are in a highly concentration type of meditation, then you will have high beta activity beyond 40 or sometimes, that is gamma also. Alpha patterns are associated with calm and focus attention. Theta patterns are associated with reverie, contemplation techniques, imagery, and creativity. Mindfulness also brings this. High beta activity is associated with highly focused concentration, so-called as Stratak system, Surya Sangha. So the meditation brainwave pattern is a combination of alpha and theta, where theta provides the depth and profundity of the meditation experience, the subconscious inner space from where your insight, your creativity, your healing, your judgment, etc. springs. And alpha provides the bridge or the link to the conscious thinking mind, so that you are actually aware and remember the content of your meditation. Very interesting. And this is, you can literally feel it by your experience when you do deep meditation. Davidson's experiments on EEG are well acclaimed, and if he could detect that in chronic meditative states, you can have actual gamma wave, the high level information processing, transcendent signal, what we call, is found in many meditators. That is the neuroelectrical part. Even for those who are doing first time meditation for 30 minutes, then you can have change in beta. The beta are reduced in the frontal, and that has been also documented in various experiments. So even first 30 minutes experience of meditation can produce some changes. The minimum experience of meditation should be 30 minutes. In meditation, the usual framework of time, space, and other aspects of consciousness content are absent, although the mind is not asleep. Compared to quiet or slow wave sleep, in which the brain blood flow is reduced, meditation shows no reduction in total brain blood circulation or perfusion. Very interesting. How it differs from sleep. There is no change in blood flow. And the usual framework of time, space, and other aspects of consciousness are absent. So the mind is there, but it does not operate. Regional maps of brain blood flow perfusion differ amongst meditation, slow wave sleep, and wakefulness. So neurobiology of meditation. There are lots of experiments. I'll show one of them. Imaging like regional cerebral blood flow, real-time MRI, magnetoencephalogram, and improved EEG techniques have allowed detailed studies in understanding the effects of meditation on neural structure, neural circuitry, and the behavior. The SPECT study shows that the parietal area of the brain, which is responsible for giving us the sense of orientation to time and space, by blocking all sensory and cognitive input to this area, meditation results in the sense of no space and no time. How? I'll show you. So these are the different technologies that we use in meditation. This is Professor Andrew Newberg. He is one of the pioneers in the research of meditation. I had a chance to work with him during my experiments on prolonged fasting, and he used to work in UPenn. And his paper on Buddhist Lama was the game changer. And to cut the matter short, what he showed that this is a baseline scan of SPECT of meditator, and this is during meditation up to 45 minutes. He said that the blood flow in the prefrontal cortex during meditation is increased 2 to 3 times, and there is increased cerebral blood flow, showing that there is increased cognitive processing, judgment, higher prioritization, executive function, all those prefrontal lobe working memory, etc. This becomes very sharp and increased during meditation. And those who do meditation for years on daily, regularly, they have increased intellectual levels, increased cognition. In Indian context, we call it pragna, medha, buddhi. So there is increased cognitive functions in meditators, and that is shown with his experiments in 2001, 2, and 3 papers. And then he wrote the book called Why Gods Will Not Go Away. I recommend that you read that book. The second important change he found that the parietal area. He said that during the deep meditation, the blood flow in the posterior parietal lobule, particularly on the left side, goes offline, it is reduced. And this being the area of orientation to time, space, person connection with the prefrontal and temporal circuits. He said that during the deep meditation, on 40, 30, 45 minutes, a person becomes unaware of time, space. So his ego is not manifested. His thoughts, his emotions, his or her perceptions, perversions, and his attachments are reduced. So all the faculties of mind, which are the root cause of our miseries, are manifested through this. And therefore, the mind becomes identified with the universal mind. Man mein se aman hone ki prakriya, and the higher pragya, the vikas of higher cognition. These two derivations he found from his experiments, and of course some of them were repeated in different other experiments, and many of them were reproducible. The point is why the things differ in different techniques, because some meditative techniques operate from the concentrations of frontal lobe, the contemplative techniques operate from the parietal lobe, the transcendental signal operates from the thalamus and the hypothalamus and the hippocampus. So although the common denominators are the same, but you cannot really compare these in the experiments, and therefore you get some confusion, some problems in, so you will find that all these techniques have some issues in scientific explanation and derivation. Well, science apart, as I said, these are all matters of experience, and all experiences are mere subjective phenomena. They cannot be really reduced to all biological and simple physiological phenomena. Even the prayer scans mention that there is autonomic and parasympathetic blood flow is increased. So if you do deep prayer like a meditation, you can have group autonomic output. So this was the SPECT finding. So friends, I want to tell you that people have proved that meditation is not merely hallucination and so. Even fMRI experiments have shown that there is significant increase observed in the dorsolateral, prefrontal and parietal cortices, thalamus, hippocampus, parahippocampus, temporal lobe, pregenual and anterior cingulate cortex, RACC, striatum. So different areas where having increased activity, and these activations was documented in fMRI. Most types of meditation which involve an initial focusing of attention are associated with increased regional blood flow or glucose metabolism in the prefrontal and cingulate cortex, areas that are important in selection of a mental task. Frontal lobes, especially the prefrontal region, helps in organization, prioritization, plan, focus, attention, etc. In visualization, different parts are activated. So this is the thalamus, this is the reticular activating system. Thalamus is the gatekeeper of the senses. The reticular activating system is the sentry, and this controls the funneling of different senses. So the frontal lobe is the most highly evolved part of the brain responsible for reasoning, planning, emotions, and self-conscious awareness. During meditation, the frontal cortex tends to be offline. In parietal lobe, as I mentioned, this part of the brain processes sensory information about the surrounding world, orienting into time and space. And during meditation, activity in the parietal lobe goes down. Therefore, you no longer manifest in form of higher ego. So these are the different ways of explaining the outcomes of meditation. Activity in hippocampus is increased in connection with hypothalamus and autonomic nervous system, and therefore your pulse, your respiration, your blood pressure goes low. You come into yogic mode. Your amygdala is showing differential blood flow, therefore your fear and phobia is reduced. This is a complex system that shows how different circuits operate in meditation, left PSC, right PSC, etc. And I don't have time to go into details, but these are the most important papers which have been so far published. Out of 400 papers, 24 papers are considered the landmark papers. And then during fMRI, what kind of activities do we see, like abstract perception of joy, symbolic presentation of self. When you focus on consciousness or consciousness focus on the self, you get this type of fMRI activity. So again, during the concentration, transcendental and open monitoring system, you have different aspects of the fMRI correlates like frontal, thalamus, parietal, etc., which you could probably read. There are several neurochemical changes. Serotonin increases, so your mood and behavior improves. Acetylcholine increases, so memory is improved. Melatonin is increased, so your sleep becomes deep and fine. And these are the different diagrammatic and schematic presentation of different neurochemicals, the changes observed, and the CNS structures where you see these changes. And they have been depicted. Meditation also affects the central nervous system by decreasing muscle reflex time, changes neurotransmitter, thereby decreasing synapse time, by increasing left cortical hemisphere. The sense of time and logic no longer dominate consciousness, and therefore, as I mentioned again and again, the ego faculty and the faculties of mind are suppressed. So you take charge of your mind, your thoughts, your ego, attitude, etc. We must mention a couple of lines on default network, because ultimately default network, dorsal attention network, seminal network, there are 5, 6 important networks you should know about the brain. During meditation, it is said that default network is more active. What is default network? Using past experiences to plan for the future, to navigate social interactions, to maximize the utility of moments when we are not engaged by the external world, your autobiographic memory, your planning for future, all these operates in the default network. While you are introspecting deeply, you are doing meditation, it is the default network that really becomes operational. But there are some specific comments on this. However, in general, this is what it is. So friends, what is the ultimate outcome? The hypothesis that has been created, the working hypothesis is that meditation acts as a constant repetitive stimulus, creating permanent qualitative and quantitative changes on the nervous system. Neurotransmitters and neuromodulators may stimulate growth of dormant neurons which are there. You know that our so many neural pathways and neurons are dormant, and here during meditation, because of constant repetition, there is a permanent change. So new neurons are activated, higher center, higher than neurocortex is there. They call it G module or quad module. And these higher center will exhibit inhibitory control over the present neocortex and thereby over mind as a whole, thereby suppressing mental activities. Spiritual ascent is from the least evolved state of consciousness to near perfect state, where the mind itself will cease and remain in only non-dual experience. There are some experiments of neuroplasticity. Recent MRI studies have shown that brain regions associated with attention, interoception, and sensory processing, like prefrontal cortex and RACC and insula, they are thicker in chronic meditators. So meditation probably offsets age-related cortical thinking. So probably it prevents dementia and learning disorders. These are the latest seminal papers in 2020 published in Nature. Telomere length correlates with subtelomeric DNA methylation in long-term mindfulness practitioners. Mindfulness meditation activates altruism. Meditation psychology on the last few slides. Practice of meditation improves cognitive task performance, increases mental concentration, and reduces susceptibility to stress. Both subjective and objective examination reveal that meditation enhances perceptual sensitivity. Friends, meditators have in different attitude and different personality. They don't look at the world as we see normally. Their attitude is different. They are compassionate, loveful, they are egoless, and they want to help everybody, and they are not concerned with their self-occupations, their collectiveness, or getting fame or money or whatever. They just are there to help. Look at the great saints like Raman Maharshi, Ramakrishna Paramahansa Vivekananda. These are the people who have changed attitude because of meditation. And those techniques, if we adapt, we can also become the same. I'm convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitude. So meditation, dear friends, changes the attitude. Everything we hear is an opinion. It may not be fact. Everything we see is a perspective. It may not be the truth. Everything we feel is a perception. It may not be the reality. And everything is likely to change. So, friends, be judgmental and strive after your own truth. Whatever I said is my opinion. It may not be your truth. So you strive for your own truth. I've just given you few highlights of this different world and different field. Some of you may be more advanced in the system of meditation. You may be knowing much more than me. But my idea was here to give to all my colleagues whatever little I have learned, a drop in the ocean, what I have learned, I just want to share. At the end, I want to mention that there are certain unresolved issues, new frontiers in meditation. Although we can understand how the various lobes and neurotransmitters function during meditation, how are these actions directed and by whom, we don't know. What accounts for the actual awareness of the experience and of the self, and where are they perceived, we don't know. How do we actually know that something is true and meaningful? What accounts for this conviction, we don't know. And the link with the master within and with the cosmic consciousness, as has been propounded by some people, has not been explained and cannot be approached from a neuroscience perspective. So neuroscience can give some kind of similes and explanations, but it cannot really explain the spiritual experiences in full way. So friends, this is Lord Buddha, these are we people, and if we do really meditation, we can become Buddha. Lord Osho said that I'm not here to teach you anything, but I'm here to awaken you. Lord Buddha said, new last sentence on the deathbed, now monks, I have nothing more to tell. I have nothing more to tell you, but all that is composed will decay. Whatever has been composed, everything in the world around us is composed, it will decay. Strive up to your salvation. Vivekananda's last sentence was, wait and meditate till I call you back. And Lord Mahavir used to say, don't be unaware for a fraction of a second. Be aware, attentive. Watch your every thought, watch your every word, watch your every action. Be in a meditative state. Friends, these are the references. I've taken references from Jain Agam, Dhyan Deepika, Dhyan Shatak, Patanjal, Yog Sutra, Holy Vedas, Tripitak, Dhyan Yog, meditation by Osho, Kil, Krishnamurti ji, and Bloomberg. Medical references are from several journals like this, and I was fortunate enough to give the presentation to Dalai Lama ji, to great sages, including contemporary saints also. These are other references, and I want to tell you that this may be a beginning. This is a COVID time. We are at lockdown in the room, in our home. So we should look inside and start meditating. And that is the best way to utilize this great time. Thank you very much. And we can have, do you have time for meditation session?
Yes, sir, it is already 10, so we shall take few questions. Our meditation will, how much time it will take meditation?
We can do 5 minutes meditation, simple, sound meditation, video presentation.
Okay, we shall do that then. 5
You
minutes.
want to do that? Yeah, I think that may be better. Sudhir
Yeah.
was telling that it's better to have 5 minutes video session.
Sure.
Check. चलो बाहर ले ऊपर से बाहर
Till she starts, can I start few questions?
So let's do the meditation part first, then let's, because once we there shouldn't be time.
Shall we start?
Shall I start? Close your eyes, slow down your breath, remove the glass and listen to the sound Om. Focus on the vibration, focus on the meaning of Om, and be with Om. That's it. Just be with the sound. Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. How did you feel about this practical meditation? Do you enjoy?
Yes, sir, definitely. And shall we take few questions, sir? At least there are many, but
Yes,
I shall
please.
ask what I feel important. Someone has asked, has regular meditation improved your patient outcomes?
Yes, in fact, I've been asking some of my patients to do meditation, and their outcome is also improved, and even my output is improved because I am. If I compare myself what I was before 20 years and what I am now, I think my attitude, my personality, my outlook to their problems is changed. So both ways, it helps tremendous. It's got my personal experiences also, I can tell you.
Then, sir, other question is, stomach should be adequately filled and sleep should be adequate. This is what Vivekananda's books have mentioned before doing meditation. What are your thoughts on it?
Uh, the system that Vivekananda said was regarding the object meditation. That was the Patanjal system. And here it is true that if you get a proper sleep at night and do meditation early in the morning, it is better. Regarding food, I think there is some misunderstanding. It should be done mainly on empty stomach, as most of the people say. If you do in late in night, then yes, your food should be at least 2 hours before, and then you can do meditation. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it very well.
And some people experience some lights, especially near midpoint of eyebrows or mid forehead, different colors. What are their different meanings? What are your thoughts on?
Uh, that has been described in various texts, but that comes after a experience of few months and years. I don't think it starts. So there may be some kind of imagination also for the early people. But yes, all great books have mentioned that when you constantly focus through object meditation, first you focus outside on some flame or a pointed thing or photograph of a deity, and then you internalize that in between two eyebrows. Uh, they call it Agya Chakra. And then when you internalize that flame or point, bindi, then after some times the Agna Chakra becomes active. I don't know in terms of science, but whatever the experience says that yes, there is some kind of activation and you feel bright lights or some flames or something you can visualize internally. Now, this is not with one person. Many people all over have experienced and described. So maybe I have not done that kind of meditation, so I cannot say that I had experienced this way.
And what do you recommend exercises? Is it required to exercise before mild exercise before meditation, or do you recommend workouts when should be done before meditation, after meditation? One who is doing regular gym and
Yes, physical exercise should
yeah.
always be done after after meditation. Always.
Okay. Then is it
You,
necessary?
if you at all want to do, then you do only simple yogic postures or asanas, not physical uh, workouts like which we do with running or jogging or weightlifting, etc. Those kind of heavy things are not advocated. What they mention, yam, niyam, asana, pranayam. Do some yogic postures, do pranayam, and then try to meditate. So these are autonomic and endocrine system and flexibility exercise, and then do pranayam and then do meditation.
One pediatrician from Rajkot has asked how to do meditation while driving or working.
that if you do Zen meditation or mindful meditation technique, you will be taught how to remain in a meditative state in all activities. As I mentioned, during eating also you are meditating, you are driving, you are meditating, you are doing consultation, you are meditating. There is something which is internally connected to the higher consciousness or universal consciousness. That is also a very advanced technique, and one can get that. It's possible.
And what is the effect on endorphin system?
Endorphins are increased during meditation, they say, and therefore the pain is replaced by bliss. That is one of the reasons why meditation is helpful in relieving pain. All psychosomatic pains are also reduced, partly due to effect on noradrenergic system, partly due to effect on increased endorphin.
Then can we do with eyes open, or eyes should always be closed? That is
Well, for the beginner, this is a very important question. When a beginner starts doing meditation, he won't be able to sustain. He requires some or other kind of avalamban, what we call some kind of base. So therefore, the looking out towards an object or a flame with open eyes to start with, or listening to a sound to start with. So giving some sensory input in whatever form. And then when you advance into the system, slowly cut down all the sensory inputs, close your eyes, close your ears, close everything, no external input, and go gradually start internalizing. I think that is a sequence that should be adapted for the beginner. For an advanced person, that doesn't make any difference whether you open the eye, you close the eyes. In the Anapanasati system, it is always taught that that the breathing system I mentioned in details, right? Very, very simple, very effective system. Here you have to close the eyes first because you are focusing on something internal, that is your breathing. So if you keep two outputs at the same time, you will be deranged. So you just focus on your breathing that comes in and goes out. Therefore, you have to shut down all the senses. So depending on which system you are doing, you should start,
then
using those.
other just one question or two question: is Brahma Muhurta required for meditation?
That is what all Indian spiritual texts say, and it is ideal because of so many reasons. They say right from physical aspects of ozone to where there's everything is steel, your geoelectric activity of the earth is also good, magnetic part is also good. So there are a lot of logical reasons. I don't know whether there is science behind that, but therefore when there is no distraction and because of the inherent peace in the surrounding, you tend to go into the meditation fast. While there is a stressful atmosphere, stressful time of the day, you try to log in, you won't be able to do that. So best thing is to select a time where there is automatically inherent peace and happiness outside and everything is still.
Dr. Datta Nadgir has asked interesting question. How do we know which method is good for us? Should we try everything and then decide? And he has also asked which method you do.
Well, I started first with the simple object meditation. Then I started with sound meditation, which still I do. I do chanting. But when I do chanting, there is a difference. I'll take a couple of minutes here. When you do, as for example, you say Om Ring Arham Nama, then I don't just chant the word. It is called mantra jap if you just chant. But when I do mantra meditation, my eyes are closed and I am just either when I'm speaking mantra, I have the vibration in front of me and then I focus on the vibration, intonations, etc. Aharo, avro. So that is a vibration meditation. Or the DT of that mantra is Arham. that I look at, I visualize God in front of me, or whatever God, if I believe in, or the meaning of that mantra. Like my whole existence bows down to the supreme energy, and that it continuously, my every mantra, I don't have any other thoughts, I don't change, I just become part of that mantra, and that is called mantra meditation. Then I shifted slowly to Vipassana. My good friend Dr. Jitubai inducted into me that. So Vipassana, Anapanasati, Prekshadhyan, these are the methods which I do. But it's most of the time I do Vipassana and Anapanasati. But there are some, at times I do mantra meditation or object meditation also. So it's not that I stay on one, depending on the time of the day, my personal mood and favorite.
How a seeker should know which is good for him?
Yeah, I'm coming to that. As I mentioned in one of two slides, that for a beginner, first he or she should learn how to sit calm. Sitting calm is the first step. Then remaining completely aloof from all environment. You shut down your mobile, shut down your phone, all connections are gone. So that is the second, sitting still and speechless. Third, then you can either start with sound meditation, because it's avlamban, there is an external dependence. So you can start because it will be easy for you. As I mentioned, Omkar, do with Omkar, or listen to Omkar, or sit still and try to eliminate near sounds and go to the distant most sound. That is with difficulty. Will try to understand how you can eliminate near most sounds and how you can listen to the distant most sound. This is the sound meditation, easier. The other way is to do object meditation. This is also simple. Sit in front of flame or your photo of your deity, and look into the eyes of that deity or the flame, and constantly look into that as if you are part of the flame, and don't allow any other thoughts or emotions to enter. Just be with the flame or the photo, as if the continuous thought of your self is focused on that. So the no other distraction of your mind are allowed, and that way you become part of the flame. So that is the another way of avlamban meditation. Then you can also start with the breathing meditation techniques. As I said, look into the breath that comes in and goes out. Make the mind the sentry at the tip of nose. Don't allow any thought or emotions or ego or attitude to come. You and the thought, you and the breath, nothing else. And when the mind wanders here and there, very calmly bring it back without criticizing, without fighting with it. And then a time will come when you'll be able to remain on your breath continuously for several seconds, and then over months to several minutes. So these are the three different sequences I can suggest for you. Those who are slightly more competent from beginning can also have thought meditation. To start with simple thought, like let there be peace all over, and that particular thought you just keep on constantly thinking about, and then don't allow any other thought or other activity to enter into the mind. Don't speak any word, just be there. So this is how it goes. Or you just see the thoughts, the volley of thoughts that it passes from your mind one after another without criticizing. Just study the nature and content of the thought. That is also, these are different four simpler techniques to my mind. And those of you who have time and can go, I would strongly recommend to take up Vipassana 10 days course. I'm sure there'll be a lot of centers around your area. Go there. There is a more structured meditation. Daily there are 12 to 14 hours intense meditational training courses going on, interpersed with the lectures of Goenkaji. I'm sure you will be benefited. You will not be disappointed, but you will require strong conviction to be there for, because it's a very, very meticulous training program. And I think you can do that. It's a very structured program, so you will not fall out.
So to summarize, whatever you follow, you stick to that, and you will get ultimate results. We should have that conviction.
Correct.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for that wonderful lecture. Many in the question answers have said that it was a wonderful session. And I once again thank you for this. With this, Mansi, shall I close?
Thank you very much for
Thank
all
you,
the
sir.
opportunity. Sudhir, Mansi,
Thank
Devashish, Makaran, I'm very thankful to all of you.
Yeah, most welcome. Sir.